Hello and welcome to yet another NGB sneak peek. This time we'll be taking a look at Driver San Francisco, which is developed by Ubisoft Reflections and published by Ubisoft. So we'll be taking a look at the single player portion of the game, which you might have heard of, is based around the shift mechanic, a bit controversial, but it actually works really well despite the showing you might have seen in the actual demo that was released recently. You also would also seen it in the multiplayer in action. It actually works really well in there as well. But let's take a look at the story mode and how it's set up. Again, you're playing as John Tanner from the previous games, and your nemesis Charles Jericho is once again in action. So let's just see how everything's set up in the single player. Yep, so you have these previously on Driver San Francisco setups before each chapter, and each time you load up the game, just to remind you sort of what action took place previously, and just in case you might have got lost in the story somewhere, just to keep you up to date. So it's got a very 70s, 80s sort of TV style setup going on, but it works really well within the confines of the game. Right, so here you have basically the sort of hub, which is based around the shift mechanic, which is there's many levels to it, so you can basically just zoom in to any part of the city. We've got 4 levels here, which we'll go into later, but basically you can just zoom into any portion of the map. For instance, say I just zoom into this freeway here, just take control of this car, just drive forward a little, shift out, and maybe shift into the car that's coming straight into it. So it's basically it gives you a lot more freedom in the way you sort of approach the game. But yeah, there's different levels to it. As you saw, that's the first level. We've got 4 levels of shift at the moment, but you might get another level. I'm not sure, but this 4th level lets you basically zoom around the entire city very, very quickly. So let's zoom in. And these are the dare missions. There's the sort of blue dots or squares you see all around the map. Different activities. There's dares, there's challenges, there's movie challenges based on certain movies, not licensed. Or I don't think they could actually get the licenses, maybe, so they're not licensed. There's garages as well where you can buy cars. You can upgrade your abilities there as well. So there's a lot of content in the game. So this is one of the one you see locked here. It's one of the main missions. It's locked at the moment, as we need to do a few more missions to make sure we can access it. So these are the ones sort of in the yellow circles. So let's go and do one now and see what plays out.
This is Levine and Dyson Dispatch. Why are we in on this?
So we're going to take control of some cops, it seems. There they are.
There's been a break-in at the South Court showroom. 4 vehicles due.
So every time you go into a mission or you sort of highlight a mission, there's this sort of you see both. You see the driver, the passenger, if there is a passenger, and the conversation between them. You'll obviously shift into one of these guys and take control of the car.
You just sign us up for her. Hey, buddy, it's for charity. Look at the map. We're nowhere near these positions.
So in this mission, we've got to get cars for the police, for a police auction, into police trucks. Obviously, we can't do it if we didn't have the shift ability. The shift ability allows us to sort of zoom out and sort of shift over to one of the cars here, as we see here, sort of highlighted for us. So let's shift into it, and we've got the destination there with the yellow marker. Let's go there and take this car into one of the trucks.
Sounded expensive.
So the handling is, you'll see, is basically, I wouldn't say it's over the top, but it's got the Hollywood style sort of 80s sort of 70s bullet. If you've seen those old sort of Steve McQueen movies, or even Gone in 60 Seconds, which is a more sort of new movie, sort of based around that. So it's based around drifts. It's all about doing drifts around corners and being stylish. So we got that car into the police truck. There's a few others, 3 others to do. Let's zoom into another one. Right, so with this car, we're actually being chased while we have to get it into the police truck. So this is sort of highlights the sort of over-the-top missions you have. I mean, the game doesn't take itself too seriously, which is good. I mean, you know, there's quite a few games out there, you know, that are a bit too serious maybe, and obviously they have their place. But it's also nice to have just a plain old fun game, and I think Driver San Francisco does that quite well.
I will hit you in the mouth, Marcel.
So you can also lose these guys that are chasing you. As you can see there's a red circle. If you get outside it enough for a longer period, then we can. Oh, not crash there. Then we can escape them. They're being quite irritable at the moment, but we've got the truck somewhere over here. There it is. And again, you see the sort of conversation between John, who's the driver, and the passenger. Obviously, the passenger doesn't know that that's John, but there is obviously something weird going on there. So that's two cars into the trucks. There's another one. This one's quite beat down, so we've got to. Seems like it makes sure that it doesn't explode before we get it into the truck. So we've got to take it a bit more careful than you usually would. Again, going back to the handling though, different cars do handle slightly different. So there'll be certain cars that drift, depending on what sort of drive they are. Jumped into that and I accidentally got onto a tow truck, but we can wiggle ourselves out there using the left stick. But yeah, the different cars do have different handling. So some cars will drift a lot sort of smoother and easier than the others, whereas other cars just won't drift as easier. So you have to sort of brake quite hard into a corner, more sort of sim style, but it's still over the top style handling.
One to go. Now,
so that's 3 down. That's the last one here, off-road. Well, sort of off-road. So this car seems like it's a lot more drifty than others. But when you do go off-road, it is a lot more difficult to keep the car under control. Whereas it might drift a bit easier off-road. It makes the handling a bit more challenging. As you'll see here, so sort of drifted around. So a bit hard to get it back under control, but just about managed it there. And there's a truck. So let's just spin back and get it in. So that's the mission completed. So we got all 4 cars into the police trucks in time. So that's one of the missions completed towards unlocking the story mission. I mean, you don't have to go down a narrow path. You can do as many sort of side missions and stuff you want. You don't have to, once you've unlocked the story mission, just go straight there. You can, do the dares, the activities, the challenges. But let's just show you another one of them, the missions. So this is the race mission. These 2 guys actually, we're quite far into the game, but these 2 guys appear quite often in race missions. So as you might hear by the conversation during the race, John is actually aware of these guys. He doesn't know them personally, but he is actually aware of them because we have done race missions involving these guys before.
I turn my back for 2 seconds and you boys are in bed with Jericho? You boys?
So it seems like they're racing for Mr. Charles Jericho, your arch nemesis. Again, as I said, the off-road handling is a lot trickier. So you will probably see me crash a few times here, but you'll also see some decent driving from myself as well. So on the off-road, what I personally advise is don't get onto the accelerator too quickly to sort of ease on it, rather than just putting pedal to the metal. Yeah, so we're just we're in third and fourth at the moment. So the objective is to finish first or second. We'll obviously try and finish first, because that's the way we do it here.
You're driving okay, but could you maybe give an extra, say, 10%?
Because you asked so nicely. Look at that move.
Yeah, so that was a nicer drift there from you. So it's, I mean, it might take you a while to get used to the handling, maybe an hour or two, but once you do, you'll be drifting around corners quite nicely. And it does feel really, really satisfying when you sort of drift around the corner stylishly while being chased, or while chasing someone,
We're still in this one.
even in the races. But you'll see me hitting the barriers here. There we go.
Awesome, John.
So we're not doing too bad here now. We're sort of in second place, which would complete the objective for us, but we're still going to try and get first place, as I said. We're getting a bit more used to the handling here. As you see, the off-road, it does take you a while. Once you've been driving on the road quite a bit, then you come off-road, so it does take a bit of an adjustment period, maybe a lap or two, or a checkpoint or two in this case. As you can see, we're using the boost, which is one of the abilities as well. You can upgrade that as you progress through the game via the garages. A few jumps here. Ooh. That's going to help us finish in first place. That car just overturned.
John,
It's your name, bro.
I thought you said... No, never mind.
Call him John. Was it June or John?
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Be better at driving.
So we're almost done here. Almost done. And you'll all, as you see in the top right hand corner, you'll earn willpower, which is the game's currency. So you can use that to upgrade your abilities. You can use it to buy garages. You can you sort of earn it for doing drifts, overtaking, missions as well. Obviously, even simple things such as jumps. You'll earn willpower for doing all of that. I think we're almost done here, almost done. So as you see, we are earning willpower as we're doing certain things. And the music's also great, as you can see. It's got some licensed tracks, so it fits in with the whole theme of the game quite nicely as well.
You have to get real.
But yeah, we finished first, so that mission has been completed. And we go back into the shift state. So that, as you see, that story mission with the T for Tanner obviously has been unlocked. Let's zoom in. We won't actually do it. We won't actually do it for you. We don't want to ruin certain aspects of the story for you, so we will leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys, and you can look forward to a review hitting the site very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.